it is Dani and welcome to this update video this morning. I hope that you're doing great, and we're going to be talking about what is happening across the Caribbean. So for some areas in and around the vicinity of the Caribbean, there is some rainfall activity, some heavy downpours across different places, and that may induce some flooding as we head through today, or it has already done so. So we're going to be taking a look at that. We'll be looking at the forecast in terms of the winds as well as the rainfall forecast for today. So let's get straight into it. And of course, yesterday 2 earthquakes were felt. One had its epicenter in Portland, Jamaica, that was felt by many persons in eastern parishes. It wasn't very strong, and the U.S. Geological Survey had actually adjusted it. So it was actually a magnitude 3.8, an estimated magnitude 3.8. So a little less intense than initially thought. Meanwhile, there was one offshore of Barbados. Fortunately, those did not do any damage, but they were felt by some of us. So let's get into what is happening as it relates to weather activity. Here we are taking a look at these satellites. We can see that front extended across the Gulf through the Atlantic. There we can see it, and along with that, it is helping to induce some periods of heavy rainfall. It is kicking up those winds as well, so winds are quite gusty, especially across the southern Gulf, and there are those lower temperatures, significantly lower for some areas in the U.S. And unfortunately, though, I know many of us are longing for the cool down in the Caribbean. This is not likely to dip very far south and bring us to that kind of cool down. However, as we head deeper into winter, because winter hasn't begun yet, it's in the latter part of December that winter officially starts. So as we head toward December and even into January and February, that is when these fronts are likely to make their way a bit further south, affecting areas such as Jamaica, even other parts of the northern Caribbean as well. But there are some areas which aren't likely to experience a whole lot in terms of these fronts coming and inducing rainfall. So what are the odds of a significant drought for you? You can go ahead and check out my latest upload to my second channel, Weather Extras. The link to that is pinned in the comments down below, so you can check it out and also leave some feedback or ask any questions that haven't been potentially answered in the video. Now let's head back to these satellites. So we've got that front. We're also seeing quite a bit of activity off the African coast associated with the intertropical convergence zone, where the trade winds of the north and the south meet. And then as we drift into the vicinity of parts of northwestern South America going towards southern Central America, we're seeing a lot. Let's zoom in here. There we can see it. So there's a lot of convection happening in this area right now, and especially when we're seeing those grays and those purples in the mix, that is signifying very tall clouds, usually those ones which induce a lot of heavy rainfall and those gusty winds as well. And there may even be a lot of thunderstorm activity. Those white dots, they indicate lightning strikes. So very active right now in the vicinity of Colombia, Panama, and Costa Rica, and these are the areas which are likely to experience more heavy rainfall today, and that may induce flooding if it hasn't already been doing so. And looking at the rest of the region on a whole, though, there we can see part of that front, but as I said, it's not going to be dipping too far south. But across most other areas, there isn't a whole lot happening this morning as it relates to any significant rainfall activity. A couple of showers moving through portions of the Lesser Antilles at times, nothing crazy. Similar story for Jamaica, Cuba, and over into Central America as well. And we're even seeing a bit of that convection pushing into San Andres. So by the time this video is up, maybe you guys in San Andres would have experienced a bit of rainfall activity, potentially some thunderstorms as well. You can let me know what has happened for you. But let's go on to the rainfall forecast for today. And we can see here that this map is pretty colorful for some areas. There are those oranges, those reds, burgundies, purples, pinks as well in the mix. So we can see that for the vast majority of the Caribbean, we're seeing those spots of those greens, some of those lighter and darker shadings of greens, and even some of those yellows as well. So as I said, some passing showers for the most part across the Caribbean. The ABC Islands, Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, going all the way up to Anguilla, including Barbados, as well as the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, which comprises Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and also going toward Jamaica, parts of Cuba as well, the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands. A whole lot of rainfall is not expected for most areas, but there may be some heavy downpours here and there, but there may be some isolated cases of some heavy downpours, but that is not expected to be widespread across a very large area. So that is what is expected today. If you're going out, you might want to carry your umbrella along, but the rainfall is not guaranteed for everywhere either. So some areas may not experience any rain at all as we head through today. This is just a forecast. And some showers may also be moving through the Cayman Islands. Again, there's that front in the area. Looking over into Central America, we're seeing, again, some of those shades of those yellows, oranges, reds, and even those purples. And that is for parts of Mexico, Belize, the Keys as well, those offshore islands, and Guatemala, head into sections of eastern Honduras, Nicaragua, and as I said earlier, down into Costa Rica and Panama. A lot is going on there. Even seeing San Andres in that shading where there could be some more rainfall activity. Providencia may experience some rainfall as well. Similar story for the Bay Islands of Honduras. And then as we head down in Venezuela, as much is not expected, a bit drier for Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. And as it relates to the winds, as we look at this map here, when we see those darker shades of those purples going on to those blues, we're going up beyond 20 knots, and we can see that in parts of the central and western Caribbean, those winds are going to be kicking up a bit. So we can expect those winds anywhere from around 15 to 20 knots. Some gusts may be even higher than that, especially in the vicinity just offshore of Colombia, Venezuela, and for the ABC Islands as well. Also up to the Yucatan, we're definitely seeing that. And as I said earlier, across the southern Gulf. So that is what is going on, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video and found it to be quite informative. However, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I get the chance to do so, and remember to always be weatherwise.